morning, Javi and Miss Jones. I just wanted to create a short video to show you where to find your assignments on Canvas. Let's go ahead and start with math. So where we are right now is the dashboard. This is where all the classes will be shown. So let's look at math. So whenever you're logged in on Canvas, the way that I have shown the assignments is to separate it by day. So here's Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Keep in mind, it's important to start with the lesson. I am putting videos, different resources to help you understand the material. So let's go ahead and look at Monday's assignment. So when you click on the lesson part, this is where the lesson of me teaching the material is and explaining the directions, as well as some other resources. After the lesson, there's usually going to be an activity or a game. So for this assignment, for example, a game is going to be played. Make sure when you finish that you are turning in or submitting that you have done the game. That way I can see whether you've completed the activity or not. So that's for math. Let's go ahead and look at reading. Reading is going to be presented in a similar way as math. It's divided by days, and there's a lesson and an activity to go with it. For reading, it's important to know that you are going to be reading different stories. The way that it shows you on here has not been working for everyone. So I'm going to show you how to find your stories for reading. If you can see on the top of my screen, I have different tabs open. So Javi, if you're working on a computer, I recommend you opening up another tab. That way you can find your work. So to do that, you click on this plus sign right here. On your other tab that's open, go ahead and go to Rapid Identity. And that's password.aisd.net. And once you're on here, this is where you're going to find the stories for reading. So you'll click on Ed. And just remember, it's going to look a little bit different on mine since it's the teacher setting. But this is where you will go to find your assignments. You'll click on Assignments. And these are the books that you are assigned to read. Now, how do you know which story you need to read? Going back to your lesson, it tells you right here what story you need to read. So for the beginning of the week, your story was The Upside Down Boy. So then you would go back to Assignments, find the story that says The Upside Down Boy, and then read that. After you have read that, go ahead and click Next. After you've done the lesson as well, and complete the activity that's with it. So please make sure that you're reading the instructions. I've also given you a sentence stem to help you with your reply. That's for reading. For science, go ahead and click on Science. And your assignments are posted for the week. Make sure that you are clicking on it because it will explain to you where to find your assignment and your directions on it. It's important that you're watching the videos and taking a look at the different resources on here. So your directions for science are to go on to STEM Scopes this week. Now, Javi, this is something we've done in class quite a bit, so we're going to continue working on STEM Scopes for science. Remember, it's important to have another tab open with Rapid Identity. STEM Scopes is this assignment right here. So click on STEM Scopes, just like we did at school. And just remember, mine will look a little different since it's the teacher setting, but STEM Scopes is where you will find your assignments for science this week. If you click Next, it'll tell you this is just extra resources if you'd like to learn more. Not required. Go back to science to show you how I got there. So we'll go to Monday's assignment. And the title of the assignment is here. And then it shows you steps how to find your assignment on STEM Scopes. This is pretty much what I just shared with you, but it's here again in case you need it. And then this is the assignment that you will complete. Let's go ahead and look at social studies. So for social studies, it is divided by each day on what you need to do. If you click on the assignment under the day, it'll give you your directions and the activities that you could choose. For social studies, this past week, you were only supposed to read one activity from here. So just choose one. You don't have to read all of them. And then at the end of the week, for social studies, let me go back to that class. Here's where your assignment is. So you will complete this assignment after you have read about Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Banneker, and Pierre Charles L'Enfant. And what you're doing on here is you're just typing 2 facts about each person that you learned. To open this, your assignment is here, but we're going to make it a little bigger by clicking on that link. Loading a little bit. So this is where you will type that information that you learned about each person. So let's say for Benjamin Franklin on the first day, we're going to go back to the class. Let's say for Benjamin Franklin, you decided to research him on PebbleGo. So to do that, you click here. And then the login is AISD, and then the password is Go. And then to find Benjamin Franklin, we'll type up here. So after you have taken some time to read and learn about him, you're going to write or type 2 facts about him here. Same process for Benjamin Banneker. After you've read about him, type 2 facts here, and Pierre Charles L'Enfant. After you've read about him on PebbleGo, type 2 facts here. And then I want you to think about which person do you think made the most important changes and why. That is for social studies. Now for writing this week, what we need to do is an activity that's on iStation. So let's go ahead and go to writing so we can see those directions. So now this is telling you what you need to complete on iStation. Now let me just refresh your brain to show you where to find that. So remember we had another tab open on our internet browser. We're going to go back to that, and then you will go to iStation. So go ahead and open up iStation on another tab, and then the name of your assignment is called Prefixes and Syllables. For writing, your activity is to complete that assignment on iStation and then turn that in. So let's go ahead and go back to dashboard. So just remember that to meet the grading requirement, you need to turn in just 1 assignment from each class. I know that there's kind of a lot of work in that we're getting a little bit of a late start, but please don't stress, Javi. Just remember that you only need to turn in 1 assignment from each class. So if you have any questions on those assignments, or if you turn them in and you need to correct it or redo it, you are able to do that. So it's okay, Javi. Don't stress too much. This is something that we're all learning, and I know that you can do it. And if there's any questions or anything that you need, you know that I'm here.